Okay, I'm back. Hello, that's better. I can now see your comments. I am now on YouTube also. I don't know what I did. So I won't go through the folio again. I just did. But this is the, oh, maybe I better because I don't think I was on you. I was not on YouTube. Some reason I did not click the YouTube. I'll get back into the swing of things. There we go. We are now back on YouTube. Very good. Hunter Merrill, my grandson's on here. Hi, little buddy. Yay. It's always fun when your grandkids come on to see their grandma, right? Okay, the little folio that goes, this is what we're creating today. And I did mention before, I'll create it. Let's see what time gives. If I quit talking here, we can get started. And I won't be matting it. If I do mat, if you want me to do the matting, it will be next week. But let's go ahead and get started. I did not post measurements because, like I said, I'm getting back into the swing of things. It's been crazy. I've been getting ready for our journey to the North Pole. Hi, Trisha. And we've had over 1,000 kits to prepare. And so, well, it's been a little nuts around here. But we're going to get started with the outside of our booklet. So do write down as you go. In fact, I need to get mine here. This is what I do. And we do have our notebooks back in stock at countrycraftcreations.com. So you can have your own tutorial notebook to follow along. And we're going to start with a 7 1/4. So this is 7 1/4, so it'll fit inside of that project Jennifer Palmer did. It's a recipe organizer with a shaker front, and it is just adorable. Oh, I screwed up. We've got to go through really quick. I need to show you the papers. Okay. The papers Jennifer did not use are the papers I'm going to use. And then I also went on the sticker sheet. And I put a little mark. So Jennifer has already used the gingerbread. And she's used this one. So I marked them with just a little permanent marker. I'm doing great. Thank you. So that I knew not to use these. Then the sheets left over that Jennifer did not use was the 3x4 cut aparts. She did use the one up here in the corner. So I've already cut it out because she uses it in her original project. Like I said, then you have these left over and scraps for cards, but we will be using from the cut apart sheet. Then she had a half a sheet of the houses. So we're going to be using this other sheet. And here are the papers that she did not use. Hi, Kara from the Craftology box. Kara, because his dad's home. He can't be in school. So we're going to use Cookies for Santa, the 4x4 cut apart sheet. I'll use some of both sides. This is what I used for my cover, which is the poinsettia. Holiday Cheer. And we've got snowflakes and candy toss. Now, you also had in the Craftology box the single sheets of each color solids. And she did not use those. Those are for the folio. So that's what we use for this. And you had lots of the sprinkles left, so that's why we put some on the cover of the book. Your ephemera. So you had the whole package of ephemera. Again, I marked off. She used this green one here. She used from the Kitchen of little tag. And then she used from the Official Cookies Bakery. So we're using a lot from here. And then again, you have a lot left over for cards. Okay, we want to start with the 7 1/4 by 12 inch piece of cardstock. And then you're going to want a 4 7/8. So it's 4 7/8 wide. And it is 7 1/4 long. Just make sure these two match because we're going to be attaching them together. And no scoring here, but we're going to score the 12-inch piece. And you're going to want the 12-inch across the top. And I want you to score it 1 inch, 1 1/2 inch, 6 1/2, and 7. Like I said, no scoring here. Then you'll need your wet or dry adhesive, whichever you choose. And bring this down a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to start at this side where you have just this 1-inch piece. And that's what that will look like. And then we need to burnish the 1/2 inch in the center. Whoop. And as you can see, we're getting our cover made here. And then on this 1 inch is where we're going to add this extension piece to create the full cover. So again, using your favorite adhesive, just put it here in the 1 inch spot. And then right next to your score line, just next to it. And that will be on the inside. And that's the folder. You can choose which side, sort of. If you choose it to go over that side, you're going to notice a little bit of a hangover. That's why we did this at 4 7/8. So if you tend to be wanting it to open the other direction, just turn it upside down before we start putting our pockets in. But right now I've got that 1 inch extension here over to my right hand side, and the first thing we're going to create on the inside is this pocket, just a normal pocket, and we're going to use the ephemera on top. And for your pocket, so this is our left hand side flap, and you want a piece of cardstock that is going to be 5 7/8 by 4. One thing, this is just a hair over 5 7/8, so I cut this just a hair, short of 5 7/8, because I want it to fit just right up to that score line. So if you need to trim your length just a little bit, you can. Then we're going to score the pocket with the 5 7/8 at the top at 1/2 inch. And you want to turn to the 4 inch side and score at 1/2 inch, and then back to the 5 7/8 and score at 1/2 inch. And before I do any other work on this, I'm going to just check the fit. And see, mine's pretty close. I don't want it that close. So I'm just going to literally pull that over just a hair. That's why I should have trimmed it a hair short. So we want it to fold nicely. And I'm happy with that fit. So I can go ahead and trim the corners. Miter them if you like. You need to get rid of the bulk. Just cut through, check the fit. And we're going to glue that down. Here on the left-hand side. Hi, Sherry. And I put it to the left-hand side edge because I want a little bit of space there. So make sure I didn't glue it down. There we go. Okay, that's it for our pocket here. Now on this center piece, we have the flaps and then we have that pocket. And for that, we have the flap first, which is up on top. Move the slider. So we'll have the top. We have the bottom booklet, and then we have this pocket that our booklet fits into. And the thing to remember is we have to put our flaps down first. So we're going to create those. And your first piece is going to be 4 3/4 by 7 3/4. My bottom flap is 4 3/4 by 4 1/4. And what I'll do is I'll put these flap sizes up on the screen for you. And it's not going to show them. I don't know why. There we go. Now maybe it will show if I put it in the right place. So that's the two sizes of your flaps, 4 3/4 by 7 3/4. And I did not separate my 4 there, so that is 4 3/4. not 43. So it's 4 3/4. We're going to start and score the first. We're scoring these like the same, but we have the 7 3/4 across the top of your scoreboard. Hi, Pamela. And oh, you didn't freeze. I was like in pause mode, right? So you're going to score at 1/2 inch and 3/4 because we need a gusset for that booklet. 1/2 and 3/4. That's our top flap. For the bottom flap, you'll put the 4 1/4 at the top of your scoreboard. And you'll do the same scoring, 1/2 and 3/4. So 1/2 and 3/4. So that will be the bottom and the top flap. And then we want, well, good morning, Wilbur. I have a feeling they're here to do our Christmas lights. Okay, the next piece for your pocket is 6 by 6. Yeah, he's howling. Ooh, sorry, guys. And we're going to do the same thing because we want to score this on just 3 sides because we want to score it as a. And I'm actually really excited because it is the Christmas light, guys. They're going to put the Christmas lights on our house, so I'm excited. We're going to score just on 3 sides at 6 by 6, so it doesn't matter where you start. You just want to score it 1/2 turn, 1/2 turn. This is a longer pocket. And we are going to Wilbur, he's not happy. You know what? He met these guys when he was a baby, and I'm anxious to see if he remembers them. We're just going to burnish up our pocket sides, but once again, we're going to put it inside here. And I'm going to check. I want to check my side-to-side fit. For me, it's a little snug. So I'm just going to kind of pull it a little bit. There we go. I didn't cut it short. I should have. I'm not following my own advice. So I'll just force it over. The thing is, you want it to fit inside those score lines where it's not touching that. And I didn't cut it shorter. So here's what I'm doing. Yes, I got the new stamping up. And that's the wrong blade. I do love it. So there, I just took that hair off, which you really should just do in the beginning. And I just broke it. Well, I hope I didn't break it. No. Okay. We're going to score. I'm going to rescore it at 1/2 inch. And that will pull that over. All right, let's get the door closed. He's not going to quit. Much better fit, much better. You know, because it's in 16ths, and I really hate to tell you to cut things in 16ths, especially if you're not like familiar with 16ths, or I mean, you know, or your ruler doesn't have it. So I just tell you to take your hair off. I'm glad it doesn't bother you. Oh, Margaret, thank you. You know, I missed you guys too, but it was kind of uncomfortable to sit, not sit, but with my foot hanging down. So to do a live, I would have had to stop, start, but my foot is feeling so great. Not even having to take pain pills. Didn't. So that just told the doctor he was very pleased. Fixing that tendon that I ripped apart when I fell down the stairs was very necessary. Okay. We're going to check our fit again, but we don't want to put this down until our flaps are down. Okay, you'll be very sad. That fits. And remember, we have a 1/4 inch gusset. Because you have a pretty thick booklet that goes inside that pocket. And we'll open the door or he's going to chew on it. Not chew on it. He'll sit there banging on the door. There we go. Okay, come here, Wilbur.
Hi.
Oh. Okay, I'm just going to have to mute this for just a moment. Okay, I'm back to the volume. Thank you, guys. Oh, hi, Hunter. Yes, Hunter, that was Wilbur. Oh, you got to go, Hunter? Okay. Hunter was watching.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter's mommy just walked in. She's like, oh, he is? Okay, flap at the top is the long one. And I am not mitering the corners because you're going to see when you center it here, you have about 1/8 on each side. That was the intent. But you can miter the corners if you like. So again, just make sure you have about 1/8 on each side. And he's got hot cocoa again?
No, it's a
Oh, Wilbur, no.
No, sorry.
He's not hurt. I did, you know what? I did. I got the Stampin' Up. I do, you know, 'cause sometimes you need a small one. And I love it. I do love it because I love the way the markings, guys, when you, so do get a hold of your Stampin' Up person because they've put the markings, they've etched them in here, which is very nice. Love it. Okay. Now when you push that up, see, it's not too long. We're going to place the bottom one, but you do want to make sure they match side to side. So I'm going to lightly just hold that for a second. Glue dries super fast. Okay, we're good. They did it, and it cuts really nice. Yes, you'll have to buy blades, but the dolly cutter, of course, I can't do super small cuts. Sometimes I like to use the small cutter on the cut apart so that I'm very precise. Okay, so there's our flaps for the outside. Now we can put the pocket right on top. But again, you need it to fold up very nice. So keep it about 1/16 of an inch away from that score line. Putting this together really is quick, actually. It's the matting and the waterfalls that took me the most time. Glue oozing. And make sure no corners there are stuck. So we'll put all of our pieces and parts together. Then we're going to go back and create the little booklet that goes on the inside. But I want to show you something. So this piece is 1 by 12. And I'm going to put it, let me open this, because I'm going to put it down underneath the bottom flap. Now the thing is, this is really best to do after you mat it because you get your thickness. This is what is going to be the slider, and I don't really score it. Let me just get it here. I just kind of lightly push down because you want room for this to slide. Okay. And we can add it now as long as you're going to leave. Here we go. That's probably pretty thick. Let me grab 2 pieces of cardstock. You just want some bulkiness there. We're just going to attach the ends together like so. Super easy to make these sliders. And then once you make these sliders, you're going to love them because on waterfalls and different things, it takes away the magnet. It takes away just, this is going to hold no matter how many pictures you put on there. The only problem is it's getting stuck on that little booklet that I have in there right now. But anyway, see, it holds it shut. So when you tip it upside down, it does not move. But you do have to have a stopper. And when you slide it up past the flap, that's when it opens. So once you have this on here, of course, it's going to fall off. Okay, until you get that stopper there. But that will show you how to make that. Now over here, we're going to do a waterfall, and we're going to mat this before we put our waterfall on. So let's go ahead and create the waterfall. And for this waterfall, I do it on a base. Hi, Diana. We're going to put the first piece at 6 7/8. And it is 4 1/8 long. Let me get my measurement so I don't tell you wrong. 6 7/8 by 4 1/8 is our base. And then my 3 waterfalls are 4 1/8 by 6 1/2. So I'll set the base to the side. And hey, Wilbur, did you have a good barking spell? We're going to put the 6.5 inch at the top of our scoreboard, and we're going to score it 1/2 inch. You have to watch him. He'll take the hot cocoa packets. He loves hot cocoa packets. And he can't have them. So there's your 1/2 inch score at the top. And we're going to just burnish those across the top. No cutting your corners, no, mitering them, because we're just going to attach to the base. And I've got mine upside down. Okay, we're just going to attach the 3 pieces. Where that ends, the next one starts. You know what, Pamela? It's weird that it's Friday because we were just talking Monday and you were going to bed with ice cream because you had had a terrible day. And here it is Friday already. So see, you lived through it and ate your ice cream and you made it to Friday. I don't know why that just occurred to me. Weird things do. What can I say? Now, one thing, mine is just a hair longer. Just a hair. So when you create this, if you want to make your base the full length of 7, you can do that and cut it after. Totally up to you. You can always adjust that by 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch. But we've got that waterfall on. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this piece of cardstock. And it's the milk. Let me grab that one. Cookies for Santa, not milk, but it's cookies for Santa. So we want to mat that first. And if you don't want to use your pattern paper, you can use one of the solids that came in your kit. So I'm going to cut it 4 and, well, not quite 4 7/8, just a little bit short. Oh, this is 7 1/4. So I'm going to use my cutter here. Again, just getting used to it. I keep popping that off. But yeah, it's not a bad little cutter. I'm not used to that's got to come off. That's going to drive me nuts. Oh, sorry, Pamela. I didn't know you were on silent. Oh, I guess we can take that 6x6 pocket off, can't we? So 4 7/8, but I'm going to go a little bit on the short side. And then 7/8 long. I do like the 16ths on this. And I'll just use some sepia. Or, yeah. Oh, and our color inks came in today. So they'll be going on the website soon with the refills. So I did get in the refills for the the inks, which will be really nice. And perfect fit. And I just have to answer a question one. Okay, so now we're just going to I have to sign a check, sorry. And my pen broke. Okay, throw that pin in the garbage and glue this down. Yes, happy Thanksgiving. It's coming up fast. Now, you can mat this first, but I'm going to go ahead and put mine down. And then I just used our papers, of course, that go front, and back for these two guys. And then the green snowflakes is going to come off of your gingerbread candy one. The candy toss. And then the top one is what we used on the back. And when you cut the matting for those little pieces, I cut mine width is going to be 4 inches by 6 inches. Or 5 7/8 actually. So 4 by 5 7/8. And that's if you're going to mat front and back. 4 by 5 7/8. And then I just used the back of the Santa Claus piece for the little strips that go in between at 3/8 by 4. Well, by 4. 3/8 by 4. So this will just glue down. That's my big dog. She sounds like a horse coming down the stairs. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and go through and burnish right there because that's the back side. Now, I did not use any type of a closure. It's heavy enough that it will just lay there. Okay, side pocket. So we're almost done with the construction of it. The pocket for here is 3 inches and it's 8 1/4, but I need to cut this down just a little bit so it'll fit nice and straight. So 3 by 8 1/4. ish. All right, we'll put the scoring tool away. And we're going to score on 3 sides. So, see, it's a pretty straight little forward. Oh, Pamela, please don't order the inks. Okay, you are barred from ordering the ink. You're barred. I mean it. So give me a thumbs up if you hear me on that. There's a reason. Okay. Now, this is the front side, I call it the front side, of your waterfall. And it's going to sit this way. You can have it sit this way. Totally up to your choice. I put it so it was on this outside edge. Go ahead and miter the corners. And I need to trim this just a little. I'm going to lay my booklet open so it's going on the outside edge. And we're going to add glue to all 3 flaps. Super simple. You can also add more pockets anywhere you want. You can really, you know, grow on this and add as much as you want or even less. Okay. Booklet for the inside. Now for your booklet, you're going to cut 6. Now I cut mine 4 1/8 by 6. You can extend this to 6 1/2. No, you can't. You could extend it 6 1/2 if you make your pocket bigger, or you actually could if you want it to be a full 6. Because it's thick enough, it doesn't have to sit all the way down inside. But we're just going to score. Oh, we're going to score them all but one at 1/2 inch. And we're going to have the 6 inch across the top. So you're going to score 5 of them. And 5. And we're just going to go through and burnish our score lines. And for those of you that Zoom on Friday nights in the Zoom crop with Country Craft Creations, we are Zooming. Tonight is, we will be Zooming. I needed to put that out there. I had a reminder pop up. Okay, I am going to go ahead and miter these corners. And there's 5 that you need to do that on. So the first piece kind of acts like the base. And what we're doing is we're stacking these. And you know what? Let's change our measurement here. On this bottom one, if I forgot to cut the 1/2 inch off. So if you want it to be longer than these, you can leave it, but it should only be 5 1/2. So I'll cut a 1/2 inch off. So I've got 5 then that are 6 inches long. Okay, and when that's 5 1/2. There we go. Now we can go ahead and attach all these. And you're just going to make sure everything's even at the top. And then remember, this will fit on the inside between the cover and Jennifer's first file folder, but it should fit. I believe it will fit inside of one of her accordion pockets if you're following the recipe folder that Jennifer made for the Craftology box. Okay, make sure these are all down. Making sure there's no adhesive. Okay. There is the booklet that fits. Now on here, these are from this is from the cut aparts. And like I said, the rest of the pages are just your cardstock from the sheets left over that we're using. And this is going to fit right inside of that pocket. And because this is pretty straightforward on the matting, what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and I'm going to give you measurements. I'm going to mat. I am going to mat this flap, and we're going to do the stopper so that you know how to make that. That way, if you haven't made one before. So we're going to use that 1/2 sheet left over from Jennifer's project. I love this. And we're going to go ahead and mat this front and the back. Now the back side was the black coordinating sheet in your kit. You don't have to use that. You can definitely use anything you like, of course, but we're going to cut a piece from here that is 4 5/8. And let's get the length. 4 5/8 by 6 7/8. So we'll cut the 6 7/8 first. Let's see. Don't want to cut off those houses, so I'll go this way and cut them off from here. Oh, that's better. And 4 5/8. Now our bottom flap is, should you start now or after things? Anytime you want. So we're going to cut it at 3 3 3/8 by 4 5/8. And that's from this bottom piece. So I'm not matting the whole thing, Diane. I'm just doing some of these important parts. It's very straightforward, and I will, give you measurements. Basically, you just measure your page, and you cut your paper 1/8 of an inch shorter and long in this length and width. But we're matting this right now, so I can show you how to put on that sliding belly band. Do you know what? This is the Stamping Up, and you can buy it right offline. Just go to stampingup.com, and it's the Stamping Up cutter. And it's there because I need a small one. My dolly doesn't cut the small pieces, and I really like it. But of course, you have to buy replacement blades, But my Fiskars is about, it really is. It's about 12 years old, 12, 15 years, and it's pretty much had it. Okay, so I'm just going to be matting the front of these. Same size for the back. Oh, and you can also mat these pieces before you attach them if it's easier for you. Or we can just lay it down, flip it over. Oh, you were just talking? Oh, that is funny. Oh, let's not get that on crooked. I am getting it on crooked. Well, it's okay. Now our slider. And I am going to mat the slider. It's 1 inch. So first I'm going to put it on the top part. Slide it through the bottom flap. There we go. I'm going to use the snowflakes, and so I need to get the length of it. I just put it on to make sure it was fitting. Now I can get a measurement of where we ended up. So mine ended up to be about 4 7/8. So I'll cut 2 pieces. Well, first I'll cut one at 7/8. And then I'll cut 2 pieces from here. at 4 5/8. One for the front, one for the back. Somebody's cooking food. It smells so good. Okay, now that's going to cover the seam. And now your seam can actually go to the back. I did the seam on the front so that we could put it together. Yep, it is the new Stamping Up cutter, and it works really well. I just bought it off of stampingup.com. But if you have a sales rep or know of one, you can go through them. Oops, kind of cut that short, didn't I? Well, that will go to the back then. Okay, because you won't really see the back, so we'll put that. Now your bottom flap. We need a stopper. I had chosen, and they are both kind of big, so you can decide whether you want them both, but they're going to be from our ephemera pack. But we definitely need a stopper at the bottom. So you can even use your sticker sheet if you like something from there. I just didn't see anything on the sticker sheet really that would work. So I'm going to use this hot cocoa one. You could go with a smaller one. I don't know. It had to be with the gingerbread hot cocoa. No. So I just have to find it. There it is. See, this is the one Jennifer uses on her project. So I didn't use that one. And then I used the secret ingredient is love. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out. So I also used this on the pocket. We'll set that one out since we've got all this kind of out here. And then the secret ingredient is love. It's a black one with the rolling pin. Now, again, they kind of were close. So I think maybe I'm going to go with something smaller this time. But this is what I used on the original. No matter what you use, we're going to back them with the cardstock, whichever color you're using. I went ahead and inked the edges a little bit. I thought this one was so clever. So a little fussy cut in here. And you'll want the foam tape. We're going to raise these up. And just follow that around. And then our foam tape. Okay, we'll just center that. And we'll cut this one out. And this will be our bottom stopper. Rid of that. We're cutting. And again, foam tape. But I'm going to put the foam tape at the bottom so that this can slide. Gives it the belly band a little more sliding room. Yes, the white is. They're all in the store. The white came in in the Craftology box this time, but the white is in stock. And we have the huge roll too. Now see, that will have a place to stop, and basically this being popped up, it stops it from going all the way down. But if you needed to, it could go down either way. But now that will give your belly band the closure you need without having to use a magnet or anything, else. Any ties. You just slide it right over. And there's that. So I want to go through, I'm not going to go through all the matting. You have the pieces left over. I just want to go through and show you what I used to mat from those papers. And I did double mat. So if you want to do the double matting on some of these, you have those 3 sheets of solids. Now the green matting, I cut it the biggest size first. So this would be your larger size. And it looks like I cut mine at 4 3/4. And then I went 1 inch into my pocket by 4. And then I cut the top matting 4 5/8 by 4. And I put that on. Same thing with the bottom pocket. Just measure your pocket, or you'll measure it. It's 3 1/2, and then just cut 1/8 of an inch shorter. But then I used this from the ephemera. Did the exact same thing that we just did. Put it down on the cardstock, and then I only glued it halfway. So it looks like an extension, and you'll have this cut apart left from those papers that Jennifer didn't use. So the same thing here. Very straightforward. 4 by 5, 4 inches wide, 5 7/8 long, and then just using the North Pole baking sticker sheets. Okay. Now for here on the side pocket, again, I took from your ephemera pack, exact same thing, just put it on your matting and then fussy cut around after we do the matting. So your pocket, I did do double matting with the red that was left. Some glue there. And I cut it the 2 3/8 by 7 1/8. And then the top piece is going to be 2 1/4 by 7. But you can adjust that however you like. I did the same here, double matting on the back. These are all from your ephemera pack. Oh, that. And then again, I just attached this. I just glued 1/2 down to create that. Okay, this is the one now I need to create with you, and then I will, again, sticker sheet. I just put it on the matting. No, yeah, I did. I put it on the matting, and down it went. So let's create this little tab that you need for closure. And I didn't put mine underneath the paper because I didn't want it tearing it. So it does go on top of your matting. But for this book, I am going to go ahead and put it down on the matting. So let me tell you what size I chose. This piece is going to be 5.5 inches long. And I did mine at 1.5. You definitely can resize this. So 1.5 by 5.5, and it's literally just left over in one of the scraps. That side's not cut too straight. Okay, you're going to want your book closed. And then we're going to have a little closure on there too. So with my book closed, I'm going to use a paper clip. And oh, you can use a paper clip for your closure if you don't want to do this too. And then decorate your paper clip. Decide on your book where you want it. And again, I am just going to lightly bend it over. No pre-scoring, because if you do, you're probably not going to get it where you want it. Okay, after we get our crease, then we can burnish it. I've tried to do the pre-scoring of it, and it just don't work. I'm telling you, I just cannot ever seem to get it. Okay, so now I've got the fit I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attach mine down. It's okay if it's under the paper, or it can be on top, and you can put the cut apart there. That's what I did here. And I did use the From Our Home to Yours on the 4x4 sheet you have left over, because of that, how cute if you're giving this as a gift. Okay. Now with that down, we need something for that to slide into. Literally I am just using my scraps, but I'm going to cut this down. It's too wide. I only want this to be 3/4 inch. Man, that's the only thing. This thing keeps popping out when I grab it. So don't grab it by that. Okay. Right now, I'm not worried about where it's coming down. I'm just going to fold it around. But this one is 4 inches long. I need to straighten that out. Make sure everything's evened up. Okay, make sure it will slide on and off. Like I said, no crazy measurements here. We're just going to hear that down, make it as easy as possible so that it's a good fit, right? You don't want to have to sit here scoring and figuring it out. Okay, Now what's going to be important here is to make sure this will slide in and out. And that's how I check where to place it. Okay, so that is about a 1/2 inch onto this bigger part. And we're just going to add our adhesive while it's still on there. And slide that out. And then I cut the apron. I did the matting for my apron. I put foam tape behind it and just placed it on top. And I did the same black snowflakes that we just did on our slider. And I just cut it 1/8 of an inch shorter, of course, to fit. And that's all you need to do there. Using the apron. Or you can use maybe that would be really cute, one of our gingerbread guys. Now for that top little cut apart, that's the piece I used for my cover. And for the North Pole cookies, nope, I take that back. I think that was from our ephemera pack. No, it wasn't. Because you basically had this whole sheet left. That would be cute too to use. Okay, guys, I'm feeling I'm missing a sheet here then. I think these are from one of the cut aparts Jennifer had left over, and I apologize. So if you have your kit, your Craftology box, you're going to see these two. Oh, they are. She didn't use these on the journaling sheet. Let me grab that. I just put it over here. This is such a cute collection. Here we go. Okay. That's right. Jennifer used this bottom half. Okay. There they are. I forgot to grab the sheet. So she'll use part of this. Now, if you're not making her project, of course, you don't have to worry. I use this at the top, then just a piece of this on the bottom for that booklet. And this is what I used for, it just seemed so fitting. So after you do the matting, again, I did the double matting. Each piece is just 1/8 of an inch shorter on the width and length. These are the black dots that came in your kit to make it look like there was smoke coming out of the chimney of your smokestack. And when it comes to these little guys, your sprinkles, because you're going to have tons left over, I just used the art glitter glue and I just sprinkled them down. Literally where they fell is where I had them. I just let them stay. Then I just matted the sides. They're 3/8 of an inch. And there's your booklet. Now on your stickers, again, I did not pop them up, but you can. So it's the houses that are on your sticker sheet. Couldn't be any cuter. Isn't this just adorable? You can use Merry Christmas across there. Definitely make it your own. Decide what you want to use with the Craftology boxes. That's one thing we really, there are no more kits available. They've been, our Craftology box let me explain that, is every other month. This was the one for November. But again, you can still purchase this paper, though, at countrycraftcreations.com. We do have the Echo Park A Gingerbread Christmas, but we don't have the kits where we had all the dots. But everything is available separate. You can purchase them on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creation. And I don't think these are sold out. I do have more coming. I think there are still some on the website. And we usually do like 2 projects, but we have 2 more designers doing projects. So you'll just, if you didn't get the Craftology box, you'll want to get these separate. The ephemera pack, 1 collection sheet of the paper, and you'll need some foam tape, and you're good to go. But our Craftology box, the next one ships. We are kind of having a delay. They'll start in February, but it's still 6 a year. So it's every other month. The subscription right now is open over on countrycraftcreations.com for next year's Craftology boxes. They ship every other month. They get that way you have time to get your projects finished. And so if you want to sign up, because it will close soon, because what I have to do is order the product, it closes, and then as we get more subscriptions, we add on. So it is available right now. They're really fun. Lots of cute things you can do. You can also use your own paper with this, of course, and create anything that you want with it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this month's Craftology box and the projects that we have for you. And I'm so glad to be back. And yes, we will be live. I'll be live on Authentique next week. I won't be live with Scrapbookers. So I will see you, though, if you've joined also we have an online Zoom crop on Friday nights, and we will be doing the online Zoom crop this week. The crop passes are $10 a month over on countrycraftcreations.com, and you can come and craft with us all night long if you like. Thanks, everybody, and I will see you then next week when I'm live with Authentique.